Whew. Okay, people, this is week 1. On Friday, we watched a small and petty man give a small and petty speech to a half-empty field before taking the seat of power that even he knows he's not worthy of. The seat of power he will abuse all the more because he knows he's not worthy of it. And then on Saturday, we saw that same field filled to capacity by the massive, historic Women's March. And I know that field was full to capacity because I'm one of the many thousands of people who spent all day in DC and never came anywhere near that field. I was in one of the huge crowds stuck on some side street with nobody, including the cops, knowing where we were supposed to go, and no way to connect with the outside world because the crowd was too big to get cell service, which made things interesting because usually nowadays, whenever we take part in a major event, we experience it from the inside and the outside at the same time. We're present for the experience while also engaging in real time with the world's reaction to the experience, and then that informs how we inhabit the experience. But on this day, we couldn't connect to that double, triple consciousness, so we had to just be there in the moment on this random street. We all had to commit to just showing up and being fully present where we were, and having faith that our efforts here were adding up to something more than we could see, which is exactly what we're gonna have to do in this day-to-day struggle that lies before us. So this may have been the perfect way to start. Message. The crowd was predominantly white, and I was aware of that to varying degrees over the course of the day. So I especially appreciated all the women of color who showed up and represented, made sure that the elephants in the room were not the elephants in the room, as well as those who shared their reasons for staying home, who shared their critical feedback after they returned. And look, I don't want to sit here as a man proclaiming what everyone should learn from the Women's March, but I'm just saying women of color and transgender voices, whatever success anyone thinks this march was, it is a listening to those voices success story. It was not only listening to, but centering those voices. It was the leadership of Linda Sarsour, Carmen Perez, Tamika Mallory, Janet Mock, one of my heroes, Tosha Regan, as the musical director. I think you could say it was more thoroughly, consistently representative on stage than it was in the crowd, and part of the work from here on out is continuing to bridge that gap. So I just hope people keep on listening to those voices, showing up for them when they call more often than in the past, and that you don't revert back to shying away from those voices because you're confusing unity with comfort. Because it is clear after this first week that there is not about to be no type of comfort. It feels like every day has been one apocalyptic blow after another. And as much as I want to end on some positive note, I'd be lying if I said I feel hopeful right now. What I can say is that where I'm from, we've never had the luxury of choosing to show up for the fight because we know we can win the fight. This is one of the many things that David Brooks didn't understand in his little column about the march. When you're comfortable enough that you never have anything at stake in your political engagement, you can treat political engagement like a board game where you choose these pieces or those pieces. You can think that the right way to plan a protest is have a PR firm run focus groups on which issues are most market ready and then protest those issues. But some of us don't have that luxury. Some of us choose which issues to protest based on our future, our safety, our well-being, our lives being threatened by those issues. And if enough people don't yet care about these issues, we can't just switch to another issue that has a higher Q rating. We have to keep pushing on these issues. And the David Brookses of the world might never understand that, but right now we have to. So as this first week keeps bludgeoning onward, I'm trying to hold on to that lane we found on Saturday, where we keep showing up and being fully present where we are, looking for ways to stand by those whose lives are on the line. And I'd love to hear from you all which resources are helping you find your next steps and helping you do the self-care you need. And if we're still allowed to do this a week from now, then I'll see you soon.